Hi guys, in this tutorial I will show you how to make standing Lego Ninjago figurine. First you have to prepare a drawing of a Lego figurine and cut it into 5 parts: legs, torso, head and arms. I also have a Ninjago figurine here as my second reference. Take a big piece of blue fondant and make it flat on top with your hand. This piece should be big enough to fit both legs and torso. Put your leg spatter on the fondant and make straight cuts around it with a blade. Cut out also the space between the legs. Put your paper pattern on the legs and mark where the horizontal lines are. Put your blade into the fondant on the 2 bottom lines and cut out some fondant to define the feet part. Fix the surface with your fingers and the Dresden tool. Now use your blade and mark the top line and round the edges on that part of the legs. Don't forget to mark the vertical lines. Cut the torso part out of the left piece of fondant so it will have the same thickness as the legs. To make the arms, roll a sausage shape and place it next to the arm pattern and cut it into the proper size. The arms have a little mark in the middle of them, so I will also mark a line on my fondant piece and bend it a little bit. Use a ball tool to make holes in the arms. Now roll a small piece of black fondant into a sausage shape and cut 2 pieces that will go in those holes in the arms. To make the hand, roll out a strip from black fondant and keep the end of it around it. Put it on your pattern to see how long it should be and trim it to that size. Use some water to connect the pieces and leave them like that on the side to dry for a moment. Put long wooden screws for the legs. And stick them into the styrofoam dummy cake. Shorten the screws on top, just leave a little bit out of them to make sure that the legs and torso will be connected properly. Use some water to stick the torso to the legs. Roll yellow fondant into a Lego head shape. And use your pattern to make sure that you got that in the right size. Use some water and a toothpick to attach the head to the body. Cut the eyes part out of the pattern and mark on your head where that part should be. Now roll out some blue fondant and cut out the part for the eyes. And put it on the head. Pinch the fondant on top of the head to make it pointy. And cut off the excess. Use a Dresden tool to mark some dents in it. Roll out some blue fondant again and make the middle of it pointy. And use your pattern to see where the bottom of it should be. And also make a triangle in the middle of the bottom part. Put it around the head. Cut off the excess on the back. And make dents on the front. Make a little knot from two small cones and a ball and stick them to the back of the head. Use an edible black marker to paint eyebrows and eyes. Before I will paint my figurine, I still have to make the lines around him to define the belt part. Paint with dark blue food color. I'm using food colors in powder mixed with a drop of alcohol. To make the robe on his torso, first I will use a white paint to make a background for the brown color that I will be using later, when that paint will dry. Use white paint also in the eyes. While waiting for the white paint to dry, you can go ahead with the black paint and make some lines on the torso and on the belt. Now I can apply the brown paint, and when it will dry, I will make some black lines on it. Don't forget to see what should be at the Lego's back and paint it too. the end, use half of the toothpick and some water to attach the arms to the body. I'm also sticking the side of the hand to the body to make sure that they are secured. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you liked it. I also have a tutorial for a Ninjago cake, so if you'd like to see how to make it, just click on that picture in the top right corner.